Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to History and Legacy Africa. Many African countries have started shifting from the African Union to join the AES, and the West is panicking. Kenya's President, William Ruto, has boldly come out to condemn the African Union, calling it not fit for purpose.
I can tell you without an iota of doubt that African Union as is today is not fit for purpose, is not fit to provide the leadership that this continent needs going into the future.
Sources in Burkina Faso say about 8 African countries are ready to join the AES, including Kenya, Senegal, Libya, and some other countries are already thinking of quitting the African Union for the Sahel Alliance. On the African continent, the AES is now seen as a movement for freedom, sovereignty, and development. The African Union has lost its credibility, just like the ECOWAS. African countries do not have control in the African Union. The shame is deep, and the evidence is clear. Did you know that over 60% of the operational budget of the African Union is sponsored by the European Union? How can you call yourself a sovereign union when you cannot even pay for the lights in your own office? For years, the masters in Brussels and Paris have been buying the loyalty of our leaders with grants and sponsorships. Every project, every peace mission, and every fancy summit is paid for by the white man. The AU building itself in Addis Ababa was a gift from a foreign power. We are living in a continent where our independence is just a story we tell children, while the reality is that the AU is a puppet show where the Europeans pull the strings from behind the curtain. The African Union has sat in silence for decades while our greatest heroes were assassinated by the West. They watched as the Sahel was set on fire with insecurity, while countries rich in gold, diamonds, and uranium were turned into battlefields. Why were they quiet? Because you cannot bite the hand that feeds you. The West sponsors the AU to buy their silence so they can spread their military bases across our land and steal our resources. When Captain Ibrahim Traoré took power in Burkina Faso, he discovered the ultimate betrayal. Their high-level security codes and sensitive military equipment were practically controlled by France. Traoré had to physically destroy that compromised equipment and replace it with secure systems from Russia and China to stop the French from listening to our every breath. But the tide is turning. Sources from the ground in the Sahel are confirming that the remote control is losing its signal. About 8 African countries are currently preparing to turn their backs on the failed AU and join the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. We are talking about Kenya, Senegal, Libya, and several others who have realized that the AES is the only true movement for freedom, sovereignty, and development on the continent. They have seen that while the AU and ECOWAS serve the interests of the European Union, the AES serves the interests of the African people.